Hey everybody, it's Jack and Lacey today.
What's up, guys? I got the camera today, right?
Yeah.
Lacey has been wanting to do a yard update with us. A lot of people have asked, how's your yard doing this year and everything? And we're going to give you a tour with Miss Lacey, the mighty Dachshund. She's ready to go. Look at her. Go ahead and hop that open. So we got this old. This is an old patio set that I took out of the trash and pressure washed and painted with Rust-Oleum and put stainless steel things in, and it still remains after many years. Got some lights going on up here that me and Jack put up last year. This is a big old bamboo type of thing that Pamela put in this pot because her, was that a calla lily? It never came back. I think it froze. Yeah. We had a couple things freeze this year because it was like, remember you did the video where you threw the water in the air and it misted? And that went on for about, what, 2 weeks straight? Yeah. So some things didn't survive. It was a pretty rough winter. These hostas, however, are gigantic and absolutely ridiculous. They usually are. And these are some kind of, I think they're black-eyed Susans. They haven't opened up yet or whatever. And we got some other hostas along the side here. And these are blooming. We got a lot of bells and stuff coming out of here. Sometimes the hummingbirds and the hummingbird moss will go ahead and, you know, get into those. And this one has a lot this year. Look how many this one has coming up.
That's a lot.
It's got a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
We're doing good.
There's our rain barrels. We have 8 rain barrels. We have 8 downspouts. Each one is 80 gallons or whatever. So that's 640 gallons every time it rains. We use those to water everything with the hydro shot. We've done videos about it. These are 2 begonias that Pamela found and hung up here in the front. And this, how funny is this, dude? Lacey's just doing her own thing. She's taking off with it. She wants us to show this first. So these are just, what are these? Just lilies, right? Just yellow lily kind of things. Yeah. This used to be like a mulch, but we're letting the ground cover like grow in, but there's not a lot of sun over here, so it's taking its time on this side. But Jack trimmed all the bushes, did a wonderful job. Look at this. Look at that. Looks good. These are the red pricker bushes, and then these yellow daisies get kind of big and come through there, and they get pretty huge. So that's cool. That's the one corner, and then this is the other corner. Did a great job on this one. And this is where all the dogs stop to pee on the corner. They go walking in the neighborhood, so Lacey has to check them out. That's the pee spot right there. Here's another lily over here. This one doesn't have as many blooms. This one, the grass is growing a little better because it gets more sun. Here's our little clematis. Our clematis did not do wonderful in the front this year. In the back, it's huge. We'll show you, but this one didn't do so hot, did it? She's reading the news over there. She's checking out all the other dogs. It's funny because you think they'd go in the hydrant because, you know, historically, people talk about dogs and fire hydrants, but they'd rather pee on the pricker bush, which you'd think might be dangerous, you know, in a sense, right? Yeah. As compared.
She knows she's checking out every single 200 dogs.
Yeah. But there you go. There's that. Now, this is what I was going to comment on. It's pretty funny. If you remember the video we did, remember in December we did our Christmas lights video and we dressed up the one pole as Cartman because it looks like South Park heads, and we put hats on them and put a face and a coat on it. That was the one we dressed as Cartman. We came over here and we said, hey, we still got a couple of pumpkins from Halloween sitting out here that had some seeds in them. And lo and behold, this spring, right before we left for vacation, a couple of these pumpkins started to sprout. And now it's gigantic in what, just like 2 or 3 weeks, right? It's totally huge.
They're doing really well. Because the sun's right there.
Well, when the sun sets, yeah, it really hits them. So we're just gonna let them go, and we're gonna like redirect them and have them go like down in front of the sidewalk here, because there's a little edge before the Pachysandra. We're gonna see if we can just grow some pumpkins all along the sidewalk here. Whatever, why not, right? They're quite beautiful when all these flowers open and everything, you know? This is our little yucca that did not do well this year. Didn't sprout the big asparagus, only does that every so often. This is the one from last year, and it just kind of dried up, but there you go. Jack did these bushes as well. Awesome job on those. You had to get on a ladder for those big mama jammas, big mamas, whatever I was gonna say. This guy, I don't know, he's doing okay. That was pretty much on death's door when we moved in, and we keep watering it and it's filling in, and the birds like to go in the little hole and make a nest, and there's always birds in these guys. Here's another example of something that died. These bushes we think died. They got totally frozen this year and turned brown during that 2-week thing where it was really, really cold, and they just didn't come back. But look at the strawberry vines, how they took over underneath. So We're gonna let them see if they'll just grow, and maybe this whole thing will take over strawberry vines. If not, we might just tear them out, dude. Take the jaw saw, cut them out of there.
Yeah.
We did a video on the jaw saw last year. We'll probably do a 1-year update. We have some other things to take out, and we may end up taking these guys out and just let the strawberry vines grow in. These are like some daylilies and stuff that kind of come in here and they turn purple and everything. And there's some strawberries and things growing over here. We have a lot of strawberries this year. Excellent strawberries. They're quite good. We grab them all the time. Look at how good these are. Just gonna eat one right now. Look at that one. Here's another one. They're miniature, but they're quite sweet and very good. They're spread throughout the whole place. There's an elephant fern. Didn't get too good because it's in the sun. This one, however, is in the shade. It's gigantic, and it gets even way bigger. This one, again, is trying to come back. It's making an attempt. It's holding on, isn't it?
Yeah.
See that one? Think it's going to make it, Lacey? She's like, I don't care. Whatever. Where's the snacks? Now, this corner over here, this corner got a little crazy because usually it's just Pachysandra, and we usually let these little wild daisy kind of things grow in this pot, and they did well. But the milkweed kind of took over, and it didn't grow really tall this year because we went through a little drought when it was trying to grow for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And we tried to water it, but then we were gone on vacation, so we couldn't. And
notice how there's a bunch over there, and then there were a couple across the grass. I think some of the seeds just spread over here and over here.
So this is our main big, huge, crazy island where we used to have a couple oak trees that we took down. They were hanging over the bedroom. They were dropping, branches over our heads when we were trying to sleep and spooking us in the middle of the night. And we found out one was hollow, and we just took them out. And then this wonderful wild patch grew in. We bricked around it, and we just water it. And there's pokeweed and milkweed, but again, they're usually 5-6 feet tall, about 4 feet tall this year. And we had a little drought area time there. So there's milkweed, there's pokeweed. We just kind of trim it back and keep it cool. We got I saw a bunch of milkweed beetles over here. Here they are. Here's a couple of big milkweed beetles.
Like long ladybugs.
Looks like they're doing what milkweed beetles do right now.
Yes. There's a lot of that, especially this time of year.
Should we play some music for you two?
There's another one over there.
Oh, there's 3.
They're pretty crazy in the summertime. Yeah.
It's a milkweed beetle party.
Yeah.
They are pretty neat looking, aren't they? Look at them.
They're cool with their long antennas.
Yeah. They're like, you want to leave us alone, jerk?
Lacey's she's in her own world over there.
She takes off after the chipmunks sometimes. So anyway, there's another hosta. That one does okay, but it's getting blocked by all these milkweed. We just thought we'd let some of them go. It looks kind of neat coming out of the Pachysandra. We'll yank them if they give us annoyances. But anyway, they're starting to turn pink already, you could see. And then a lot of hummingbirds come. We get hummingbird moths. We'll try to capture some. They're hard to get. We've done a couple hummingbird moths in the past, but they're hard to get. Now, this is a perfect example where we get some of this grass where the deer come. So they'll come and they'll just sleep in here. You can see where there's a big thing there. They just come and sleep in there, and in the morning they leave. They don't eat the milkweed because they don't like it, which is why we like it, because they don't eat it. She usually goes in there and checks it out. She's like, oh, there was a deer in here, Dad. Yeah, thanks. You were sleeping. You were sawing laws. The milkweed hasn't quite spread across this year. We got a couple pokeweed on this side, and there's like these little violet things, and we just kind of trim them back. This is where one of the giant stumps was. This thing about 6 feet across. It's got some grass and mushrooms growing out of it, some rocks. And then over here, we just let the strawberries grow in around the lamppost, and then the pokeweed's going real good there. That's pretty awesome. And then you trimmed all this stuff. We did not trim this one, though. We did a short on this one. All those pink flowers were full. You could see what they look like. And this one gets hummingbirds and hummingbird moss and lots of things, too. But they're just about dying off, so we'll probably trim it now. And again, we really just kind of let oh, there's the yucca. There's the other yucca. And this one did sprout. Oops, there you go. This one did sprout, so you get these flowers, but they're kind of hiding behind this guy because we didn't trim it. There's a guy down the street that's got some that are like 8 feet tall. They're huge, but they're more in the sun. Those yuccas like the sun. But ours didn't get a lot of sun because this guy.
This, I forget, what's this, rosemary bush?
Holly.
Holly bush. It's gotten quite big.
It's gigantic. It's gigantic, and I love the way it just curves around. So we just kind of keep trimming it around. It's getting pretty tall too. And we just kind of keep trimming it around. There's 1,000 bricks here, in case you've never seen a yard cure before. What was that, 5-6 years ago, maybe longer?
There's lots of bugs out right now.
Yeah, there are a lot of bugs because it rained.
They just get all the milkweed. The butterflies get the milkweed.
Yeah.
The hummingbird moths get them.
But as far as the bricks, we got 1,000 of them. Remember that one summer? And we laid them all out and put them around everything, and we just trim around them. This is some kind of cactus grass or something that somebody calls it. It's got these big old barbs in it, but it does look pretty cool. It was kind of hot today, and we didn't really water because it's supposed to rain tomorrow morning, so we were like, eh. But when it's wet, it really sticks up and looks good, kind of like lake grass. Look at that holly, how it just keeps going. Jack trimmed that bush really good, and then this is all this kind of ground cover we have in here, and just bushes, and we just kind of trim it and keep it all going. Now, this is the one, this is the big island that we got 12 yards of mulch last year because we didn't mulch over here in quite some time. And there's so many roots and everything that we just mulched it in. Oh, look who's out. There's Miles. Say hi, Miles. Miles is our neighbor. Hi, Miles. And Lacey will bark at him, and they will bark at each other. She gets along with bigger dogs usually. Yeah. Look at her, she's trying to go over there. She's like, I want to go smell them and bark at them. But yeah, this was a huge area that we mulched in. Remember that? That was like a whole day. We did a video on that last year. Here's the lake grass. That's doing pretty good. We did put these guys across. These are the irises. We have like purple, kind of pink irises, and they already kind of bloomed for a week or two and died. And this is just kind of like some ground cover and stuff that's in between this little island here. We don't do much in here. We just kind of let it go, but you can see this mulch, it's just gigantic in here. And here's some more ground cover and stuff. We just kind of water it and let it go, and it chokes the weeds out, and there's not too much, but this is beautiful ground cover. A lot of people think it looks like pumpkins or whatever, but there's no fruit or anything, you know? And there's a little bleeding heart that came up this year in the middle. See that right there? It's not too buried, but it looked really nice. It had nice big purple flowers, but now they're gone already. And that's just ragweed over there, I think. But yeah, look at the back of that holly bush. It's something, isn't it? So we trimmed all the stuff with the jaw saw last year. Everything's really good. It doesn't really need trim this year. And Jack went around, trimmed all this stuff. Everything's looking real good. Real good. This is the clematis we were talking about in the back. You like the clematis, Lacey? She's like, yes, I do.
She looks taking a
Look at her. Look at that one. That's crazy.
There's a lot of purple going on there.
That's crazy. Usually we try to get it to go like all over the bench and everything, but it didn't do it. I kept trying to redirect it, but it went more up this year. And that's the pond room and everything, and that's where my office and everything is. And Jack took the liberty with the pressure washing this patio. It was quite black and nasty looking.
So it looks like a whole new patio. Man.
It does. It does. Great job, dude.
Like
Seriously. Awesome job.
Magic.
Excellent job with the pressure washing. It's painstaking. I told you I'd give you $10 per square. You made 40 bucks there in about an hour and 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad. That's good money, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal. These 4 trees in the back are doing good. They bloomed nicely this year. And, I'm sorry, 5. They bloomed nicely and looked real good. We took everything out from around them. We're just letting the grass kind of grow around them and stuff like that. And then these are the tiger lilies. These are like the double Kwanzaa tiger lilies, and they are coming up quite late. They are usually up much earlier, but again, we had a lot of this haze and this air pollution for the last couple weeks, right? Even before we left for Atlantic City, even people there were walking around with masks.
You heard about it. It's like,
yeah.
You know, Canada wildfires.
Yeah.
Storm.
Well, and then of course we had this huge train wreck in Pennsylvania and chemicals
and there's a lot of,
all kind of things.
Today, but it was pretty bad yesterday.
Yeah. So we had haze, so there was no sun.
Right.
So anyway, they're starting to come up. You can see how many there are. There will be about.
And they bloom pretty nicely.
Yeah, you can see there's so many on each head here, and there will be 2 to 3 times more than that. And they are gigantic. They're like double big as my hand, bulbs on each one of those. Really, really cool. So I really like those because they're right outside my office there. And then they're like the orange, and you got the purple. The clematis won't last too much longer. Look how she gets in there. She likes to get in that ground cover and look for chipmunks, right? You find any chipmunks? Did you find any chipmunks, Lace? Huh? You know, when she broke her back, that was one of the ways I rehabbed her. I used to walk with her. I used to have a scarf, and I held the scarf in my hand and suspended her hind legs. And that's how I got her to start kicking her legs. I was like, find that chipmunk, Lace. And she started kicking her legs. It was like muscle memory. She was paralyzed for quite a few weeks after, before and after surgery. We got to tell that whole story sometime. We never really told it. But that's how I got her to go. I brought her over here to this ground cover and just told her to look for chipmunks, and her little legs were like moving and twitching, and then they started moving. Isn't that cool? Those red lilies in the back did not do well this year. They did not get enough sun and stuff. But these are, what are these, a ZD we planted in these? Yeah. Last year we had monster marigolds, and they were like, what, 6-7 feet tall. It was crazy. You could see some of the marigolds are coming back up here that were here last year. They come up later and stay up all the way almost through the winter. These azidi things we planted in there, so now there's like a mixture of two in some of these. The sedum are doing okay. This is all ground cover, all strawberries again. Pamela comes out here every morning, picks strawberries and eats them and gives them to the dogs. They love them. There's some more azidis. She's looking for chipmunks. Find a chipmunk, man. And we got the hanging baskets and more sedum and more azidi. And I think this one, there's more of them. Yeah, there's some marigolds back here that just kind of came back from last year. We had some turtles in here with solar lights. They light up at night. That's pretty cool, but they're just getting buried. The azidis are growing. A couple more pots there. That sedum's pretty big. She likes going through there. Did you find any strawberries, Lace? Sometimes she'll just eat the strawberries right off the vine there. She likes that. This was a big hibiscus that we had last year that Pamela got from her son on Mother's Day, and it took over this whole thing. It was beautiful, and we got a new one this year and planted it in here, and it's more of a pink, and there's a couple blooms here, and it's starting to kind of take off and go up the old vines that were dried out and dead from the last one. But again, with all this haze and pollution and not a ton of sun, it's not doing miraculously well. So we'll see. Hopefully we can do that. And of course, Pamela bought more pillows, so now there's more pillows than there are cushions. Can't have enough pillows, right, dude?
Yeah, never enough pillows.
Lacey loves sitting out here on the pillows, don't you? She's like a little princess. She'll burrow under the pillows at night if we're out here eating and things like that. And we got a new umbrella and all that. It's really cool. And we did paint the doors last year. That's been working out well. You can see we planted some grass and it's growing back because this faces south, and the sun would hit these doors and reflect on the grass and kill it. So by making it a darker color, it absorbed it, and that's finally growing. So we don't have a big mud pit there. Fire pit is doing fantastic. We've had a couple of fires this year, not many, trying to burn up some of these stumps and stuff. Our neighbor did give us a bunch of wood, and we've made it through about a quarter of it maybe, chopping it. Look at him, he's looking over the neighbor's fence. What are you doing? He's looking over the neighbor's. I busted you, dude. Look at Lacey. Look at Lacey. She's like, I told him not to do it, Dad.
I heard some music over there.
Heard some music?
Like a funky time.
Were they rocking it out? Were they partying it out over there?
Yeah.
Maybe we're.
That stump's gonna be fun to burn.
Yeah, well, this is all oak, and it was pretty hard, but we did chop it. We're gonna have a video coming up. Put some all-out music to it. We did some like slow motion wood chopping and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep working on this throughout the summer and put it inside and burn it in the fireplace, you know, and when it's really, really cold. But some of these big, huge stumps are just like hard as a rock, so we'll just put them in the middle and burn them up on a cold night out here. But Jack took these two. These were two huge pieces of stump, and you made this little design here, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's like a little
little portal. I don't know. It's like a sundial type of situation.
It's cool.
We couldn't chop them up. They were too thick.
No, gigantic.
So it kind of looks artsy. I don't know.
It is kind of artsy, man. Yeah. And it'll probably be there for many years. It's cool. There was nothing really over on this side. And then over here we got the rocks, and of course Jack trimmed this guy. Excellent job. And then more bricks, more stones. That's our neighbor's yard. Nice people, wonderful people. And then some rocks and stones that we put here. This is the English ivy that's kind of growing in here, and it's kind of taking over and killing these bushes. That's why we cut those two out. We are going to be doing a video coming up with a jaw saw. We're going to be taking that guy out and showing how it's doing after 1 year. We have used it many times. We're going to cut it up. We're going to time Jack and see how fast he can cut it off and cut it up and throw it in the fire pit. I think it's going to be surprised how fast that thing works. It's amazing. This is the compost that we made several years ago. We're trying to get this ivy to just kind of go around it, cover it up so you don't even see it. So hopefully that would be really cool. And then this is our actual outside garden that we mulch our leaves in. And we do have some peppers growing and some cantaloupe trying to come in. But again, it's kind of tough because we have a lot of deer. But we've been using the coyote granules and putting them on there. And this is pokeweed and some other things that just kind of grow randomly. There was Miles barking. That's what Miles sounds like when he barks. Lacey doesn't care. She barks right back. I don't know where, oh, there she is. Is Miles barking at you? So anyway, that's the whole yard. That's the whole yard. It's doing very well. A lot of hard work this year. Jack's thinking of becoming a lifeguard for next summer. So if you do that, hopefully you'll still have time to help me, because this yard's big, dude.
Maybe, yeah.
Unless Lacey helps me, right?
Maybe Lace can help you.
You gonna help me, Lace?
Check, I don't know about that.
Well, please try to still make time to help me on this yard.
Will be in cookies.
I wish she could cut grass. Well, guys, we're gonna head back over this way and take one more look at this clematis and that, and just say bye and everything, because I do want to show this. I promise, when these Kwanzaa tiger lily things come up, I don't know how if I'm saying it correctly, Kwanzaa. They are amazing, and they do get quite tall and huge. But for now, we get to enjoy this wonderful ground cover here. And the deer were going in here. See this tall grass? They were getting into here and laying in here, and they flattened all this out, but I put a bunch of coyote granules and they're not coming anymore. So now it's filled up and nice. So there we go, the beautiful clematis. And that's it. We'll show the lilies when they come in and everything. Thanks for the tour, Lacey. You gonna say bye? You gonna say bye to everybody? She's like, I want to eat chipmunks. Right? She's just going. Well, we'll say bye.
Can we get her one ear flipped over?
I know. She always has one of those ears flipped, if not both of them. Thanks, Lace. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.